Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world.
I not see that coming. I always laugh.
No, because it's funny every single time. It just is.
You have to go there. Good morning, Dr. Patty. How are you?
Well, thank God it's Friday.
TGIF.
And happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday. Yes, happy Good Friday to you. How are you? Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Good morning, Rufai. Happy Good Friday.
Morning, Audrey. Happy Good Friday to you. It's a day of peace, and we remember the Good Friday Agreement today.
Absolutely.
Day of peace, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe.
In the United States, George Floyd's girlfriend, Courtney Ross's tearful testimony at the trial of Derek Chauvin tops the trend. She was the first witness who personally knew Floyd to testify at the trial.
We've been through so much, my sons and I. And this kind person just to come up to me and say, "Can I pray with you?" When I felt alone in this lobby.
In the United Kingdom, TV host Piers Morgan calls himself a jobless man after taking to Twitter to ask fans to buy his book to help get rid of the cancel culture mob.
Let's get back to what made Britain great, the ability to disagree with each other and then go and have a pint in the pub, not try and wreck each other's lives for a difference of opinion.
And the highest-ranking members of the British Association of Gingers have voted in favor of banishing red-haired Prince Harry from their ranks, saying they no longer consider him part of the gang following his interview with Oprah Winfrey. In Nigeria, Ibrahim Al-Hassan, spokesperson of the Code of Conduct Tribunal chairman, Danladi Umar, has alleged that his principal told him to use the phrase Biafran boys in his statement, which served as a response to the recent assault incident that went viral. And Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka has been decorated Special Marshal of Operation Amotekun, the indigenous security outfit in Ogun State. Finally, under entertainment, Atlas, the work of the late Nigerian artist Ben Nwonwu, has sold for a record sum of £378,000 on its debut at Sotheby's.
Let's begin What's Trending by recognizing Professor Bosede Afolabi, who has made the country proud by winning the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation grant. The gynecologist at the University of Lagos was awarded with a research grant of over $2,518,000 for her project titled Intravenous versus Oral Iron for iron deficiency anemia in pregnant Nigerian women. Professor Bosede Afolabi is internationally recognized for her research in sickle cell pregnancy. Rufai, how amazing is this story? I mean, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have been doing wonderful for African people, and this is such a great, great addition for Nigeria.
I mean, I'm so excited about this story because on many fronts, I'll call her sort of like a member of the family. She's been on the morning show a couple of times. But apart from that is the work she's doing. Sickle cell anemia is a big deal. And it's been affecting a lot of women, especially pregnant women and the like. And it's very terrible to be, anemic during pregnancy. And to be able to get this grant money, as provided by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, to fight this goes a long way in helping a lot of people from dying. Because anemia definitely, once you have reduction in the blood corpuscles and things like that, then death is always the next way. And I know she's going to put this good money to good use. And it just goes further to show one step how people can use their money for charitable causes. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been in the vanguard of this. Yeah. They've also gotten other billionaires to be able to put money into the sport. I know Warren Buffett, for instance, the sage of Omaha, put some good money into the sport to be able to fund research, science, and technology and the likes. And let's not forget that this same Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has worked so hard in terms of vaccination all over Africa, for things like polio and some other diseases that have been, endemic on the African continent all this while. So, but this is a major development, and I'm waiting for the groundbreaking research work that'll follow from this, the money to be able to help as regards pushing this grant forward. And by extension, I also want a lot of African scientists, probably to start writing for grants around getting some money to be able to fund COVID-19 research so we can get our own vaccines. Those 2 vaccine candidates, we can get some vital grants in to be able to help push those vaccine candidates forward, and probably we can get vaccine out. But grants are good. They're really exciting. Congratulations to her. Great stellar job she's doing as regards, women, that are pregnant, that are anemic, and anemia in general in people with sickle cell anemia, because what really happens to you is that your blood, your cells do not get that nutrition that is needed because your cell is in form of a sickle, and it doesn't get that oxygen inflow, it doesn't get other vital things in that cell matter. So great work. I'm really excited. Kudos to her.
Well said, Rufai. Dr. Bati, your take on the story.
Well, first, congratulations to Professor Bosede Afolabi by winning this grant, which, of course, will have gone through, our proposal will have gone through very rigorous assessment. She has been able to make Nigeria proud. She has also been able to make the University of Lagos proud, yes, because in spite of all the problems that we have with ASU strike, NASU strike, SANU strike, we still have centers of excellence in Nigeria, and we still have scholars who are doing very serious research work. Now, they get supported by international organizations, but I would also like to see a situation whereby rich men in Nigeria also support research and development, corporate bodies, yes, supporting research and development, and identifying these diamonds that are within our research community, educational community, and providing support for them. Professor Afolabi, specializes in, she's a gynecologist. She's a professor of gynecology, and she specializes in a special area of interest for Nigerians. Some people have told me, I've not been able to confirm this, maybe it's right, that it's black people mainly that have sickle cell anemia. We hear that, and so it's something that is of interest in terms of research to families, and to many, Africans. That's one leg of it. The second leg of it is to commend the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. That foundation has come under severe criticism in the context of COVID-19.
Right, you've taken several stories.
There are times, there are even Nigerians, yes, who have been, mouthing all kinds of conspiracy theories unfairly, incorrectly, about Bill Gates. Now, Bill Gates in particular, or this foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, has been very supportive of Nigeria. They opened their first office in Nigeria in 2012. And as of 2018, this Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation had spent about $1.8 billion supporting all kinds of projects in Nigeria: healthcare, agriculture, financial inclusion. And that's why oftentimes when I see Nigerians criticizing Bill Gates, I feel like, what's wrong with you? This is a man who is supporting Africa, who is supporting Nigeria. And we hope that he will find every reason to continue to support Nigeria and other, African countries. Yes. And then, as I said, our own rich men should emulate this example. Finally, I talked about the University of Lagos. Professor Bosede Afolabi emerging as a shining star from the University of Lagos and receiving this support. I think there are also some other stories. The University of Lagos continues to have very prominent female academics who continue to excel. Last year, August 2020, Professor Folashade Ogunshola was appointed acting vice chancellor, and she helped to stabilize that university at a moment of serious crisis. And only this week, Professor Ayo Asenwa has been appointed deputy vice chancellor of the University of Lagos in charge of development services. Yeah. So for me, it's quite encouraging that we continue to have, strong women being encouraged in academia and proving themselves, excelling, and for those who think patriarchy is a universal, ideology and, an answer to everything, they need to be reminded by these strong women, yes, that indeed, patriarchy, misogyny, both have their limitations. I'm
so proud of all these women that are breaking these gender norms, Tunju. It's amazing.
It truly is.
Yes.
And I have to say about Dr. Afolabi with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they recognize global excellence. Yes. So it's not like she was the best in Lagos or the best in Nigeria, all over the world. That award is for people who have had an extraordinary contribution to global health. I must stress that, to show the level, the quality of the work that she has done. And sickle cell in pregnancy is extremely dangerous. It raises the woman's risk, the mother's risk, of dying to exponential levels. It raises the risk of stillbirth, of preterm pregnancy. So this work she's doing is going to save lives. So we have to stress how important it is. And like you said about Bill Gates, I mean, I'm a Marvel fan. So when I was reading all the things about Bill Gates trying to depopulate the world, I thought, well, is it Thanos? I thought it was funny until I realized that these people are actually not joking.
Very serious.
They're actually slandering this person without any proof. Yeah. And I feel that generally it's human nature to sort of be suspicious of the rich. Some of it comes from envy, and some of it just general, suspicion of really, why are you so rich and why am I not? This is just how I see it. So people tend to project their own, what they would do if they were Bill Gates, onto Bill Gates. We have to have proof before we start making wild accusations against other people. Generally, I find it just a very sad character trait because, as you rightly said, he has done a lot for Nigeria. And we're talking about now COVID-19. We have seen more than ever now the importance of funding medical research. We have so many billionaires in this country. Which one of them has done what he has done? So we should really be thankful to him, and that's just the bottom line. If he has done, like, I don't know, remember when he was in trouble with the United States for monopoly issues? Those are facts.
Antitrust.
Yes, those are facts. But to have, to be casting aspersions on somebody that is actually trying to help this community is actually egregious. Yes. So congratulations to Dr. Afolabi. I think this is great news, and I'm just so proud of her and all the lives that she's going to save. People say that it's because sickle cell affects black people more that it's still a problem. That if it was a white man's disease, they would have found a cure. So I'm hoping that we're well on our way.
Is
I've heard it so many times. I'm hoping we're well on our way with this. Yeah, it's great.
Well said, Tundu. We'll take another story. Reactions have trailed the report of the missing fighter jet operated by the Nigerian Air Force that lost contact with radar in Borno State. Reports reaching us indicate that the fighter jet may have crashed. The cause of the crash, as well as the whereabouts of the two pilots in the fighter jet, remain unknown. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amao, on Thursday arrived in Borno State, where he was briefed on the efforts to recover the missing fighter jet. The Army spokesperson, in a statement, said the jet, before losing contact, was on a mission to provide support for troops on the ground fighting Boko Haram insurgents. Rufai, before I take a reaction, I would love your comment on this story.
I just pray they didn't lose their life. Maybe I just want to hope against hope that they're somewhere in the bush. They had this, quick emergency injection thing. They got out of the plane before it crash landed, because there was another counter statement that came out recently, and there were talks about probably the plane has crash landed. Since it's got off the radar, this broke on Wednesday, then probably they're saying the plane might have crash landed. I just pray for the safety of the pilots. But those are quite very, flexible alpha jets, durable jets. We use a lot of those jets in our Nigerian Air Force with the JFs, made out of Pakistan, and the Chandu jets, but I just hope all of this ends well. The head of the Air Force is there in Borno. Hopefully they'll start the mission as regards it. They'll be able to trace all their coordinates, get the reconnaissance, probably other reconnaissance plane in to be able to trace the coordinates and get the plane out. I just hope those pilots, get an ejection, because it is possible for them to get an ejection. So a very good friend of mine, AVM Badebo.
I'm sorry to have to interrupt you. We'll have to go on a short break. And when we come back, What's Trending on the Morning Show will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Morning Show. We're still on What's Trending. Rufai, before we went on a break, you were making a comment about the missing fighter jet. They may have crashed.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I said hopefully they find them. And most importantly, my heart is going out to the families of, the crew members on board. Hopefully they are safe. So I was trying to tell a story about how a couple of years ago, a very good friend of mine, AVM Femi Badebo, I think it was about the first, and one of the first people to make a quick ejection of a MiG fighter jet that was flying, one of the fastest planes in Nigeria. Then it was a fighter jet that was flying, and the plane crash landed, but he made a quick ejection and he survived it. He's still alive today. So I just pray, hopefully, that case happens again, that this pilots, probably before the plane went off the radar, they were able to make a quick ejection. I just pray that there's a happily ever after story, because we've lost too many pilots. Don't forget the Beechcroft plane the other day. We lost some pilots in that crash out of the Abuja area. So we don't want to lose any fighter pilots or any crew member again.
All right, good point. Dr. Bati.
Well, it's unfortunate that this happens again and again. Exactly a month ago, there was the crash of that aircraft, again belonging to the Nigerian Airforce in Abuja. And all 7 personnel on board died in that particular incident. And so, legitimately, this has also raised a lot of anxiety. And the fear, my fear, is that is this an emerging pattern? Because you recall that the aircraft that crashed a month ago was on a mission to help rescue the students of the government secondary school, Kangara, who had been abducted. And this particular Alpha jet, NAF 475, as we're told, was also on an interdiction mission with regard to the students of the School of Forestry Mechanization, who have been missing, who have been kidnapped, who have been in captivity for the past 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden, it disappeared from the radar. Edward Gapquet, who is the spokesperson of the Nigerian Air Force, has issued 2 statements. In the first statement, he said, well, once an aircraft disappears and loses contact with the radar for about 30 minutes, it will be declared missing. As at yesterday, we did not have enough details as to what was happening. But as at today, he has issued another statement. That's the spokesperson of the Nigerian Air Force, identifying the 2 persons involved, 2 flight lieutenants. Flight Lieutenant John Abolarinwai was mentioned in that statement, and Flight Lieutenant Chappell was also mentioned. Well, he ended the statement by saying that the Nigerian Air Force is hoping that they are safe. A search and rescue operation has been deployed. The Chief of Air Staff himself, the Air Marshal Amao, has relocated, we're told, to Borno, which I think is an impressive way of showing leadership. He's showing that he's concerned about his men, and as captain of the team, he's personally leading the search and rescue team. And, we really pray that it all ends well, but, we also have every reason to be anxious.
Yes.
And the point I made that we hope that this is not an emerging pattern. We require very thorough investigation.
Yes.
Could it be that this is the handiwork of the terrorists and bandits? What must the Nigerian Air Force do to make sure that its aircraft do not continue to disappear or drop from the skies and the force continues to lose men?
I'll take you on that point because that's the rhetoric. I'll take a tweet before I come to you from an Obi Lewis who wrote, "More lies. They should come out and just say it was taken over by Boko Haram instead of prolonging the case. You can't say military equipment is missing in Nigeria, her country. It's not possible. The question should be, where are the last coordinates and position of the jet?" Tunju.
Well, I have really nothing to say to that tweet. I want to take it from where you left off. The Chief of Air Staff, I'm extremely impressed with the way he's taken this hands-on approach. We've seen in a time in this country where even the president instructed his Inspector General of Police to report to Benue, and he did not. So even being unprompted, unbidden, he knew what to do. And that, like you said, is leadership, and it's amazing. But it's heartbreaking to think about what could have happened to these pilots. It's very worrying. I don't want to address that tweet at all because I think that kind of talk is unhelpful at this point. Because there are pilots, there are pilots that we do not know where they are. We should really focus on that rather than on substantiated claims of what may or may not have happened and whether people are lying or not. I'm just hoping that the pilots are found healthy, safe, in one piece. Quite frankly, it's extremely worrying. And we also look to the future. Like a few months ago, I read about this unmanned combat aerial vehicle with the eye-watering price of $16 million. And I'm hoping that the time will come when that will be the norm. All over the world, we do send our young people to die. We just do. Our military, in every country in the world, is populated by our young people, our young men and women, and they're putting their lives on the line, which is why you will never find me bashing our soldiers or our Air Force or our Navy, ever, because we need to be grateful. We owe them such a debt of gratitude. Their sacrifice, I always do. People in their prime, I want a time that will come where we can just send drones off to fight for us. This is so upsetting, and I just pray that they're found and they're safe. I pray they are found.
We all pray for them. We'll take our final story. A video showing supporters campaigning for the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has made the rounds on social media. The former governor of Lagos State, who has been touted by many as having the ambition of running for president in 2023, has had several campaign posters erected in his favor. Earlier this week, the APC chieftain was in the northern part of Nigeria to meet with political leaders and also to celebrate his 69th birthday. Well, let's take a quick look at this video before we come back for a discussion. Dr. Bati, what does this look like to you?
Well, first point is that, politicians like to be celebrated. Of what value is a politician who is not serenaded?
Yes.
And I'm sure that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will have been well pleased with this.
Yes.
I guess this was at the event, the 12th Tinubu colloquium.
I think it happened during that
Kano.
time, yes.
Yes, and you see these people saying we should all think of the of 2023 with regard to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And at the time, we were told that that colloquium was held in Kano as a way of demonstrating unity. And whoever is the strategist behind this particular event, this celebration of the leader of the APC, must have tried to send a message across that, look, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu from Lagos, from the southwest, being celebrated in Kano. The clear indication is that the 2023 political process has begun.
Yes.
However, everybody must be reminded of the fact that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself of the APC has not yet come forward to say that he's interested in the presidency of Nigeria in 2023.
So suspicious, though.
Well, but he has not issued a statement. He has not set up a secretariat, to the best of my knowledge. Maybe when the time comes, he himself will come forward and tell Nigerians. For all of this may be part of a grand strategy, grand political strategy.
This is the rhetoric.
Yes,
Dr.
well,
Bati.
the people themselves, they have the right to be suspicious. They have the right to anticipate outcomes. They have the right to have expectations. But at the end of the day, it's the generality of the people of Nigeria who will decide who will be president in 2023. There is no crystal ball that is so clear now that can tell us who that president will be. And it's good that INEC has begun the process of, continuous voter registration exercise. So when the time comes, the people of Nigeria must decide. It is their votes that must count.
Rufai, you have about 30 seconds to make a comment real quick.
I remember a song from the campaigns of '93 that says Nigeria is on the march again, looking for Mr. President. So we're on the march again. The process has started again. I'm sure a lot of people are not sleeping overnight. A lot of political meetings are going on, a lot of political machinations, and it's going to be crystal clear very soon. So you'll see some people in some positions.
All right. Well said, Rufai. Well, you all have a fantastic weekend. I will see you next week.
Yes, and enjoy Easter, Ojineka.
I will. Happy Easter, yes. Happy Easter, everyone.
Anyway, thank you very much.